Good morning, my wonderful friends. Megas with you on a beautiful day in Asha. It's a dark, rainy day, but it's beautiful out. And I don't have lighting for these videos. I use just natural light. And so it's going to be a little darker today, but that's okay. On these kind of days, I get in the mood to get something hot to drink and read my books. I just got a few new books, but this is the second book in the Shadow Hunter series, and me and my daughter are reading these together, so that's something fun. We kind of started our own book club. And today, my friends, so much going on. I didn't put together a planned message for today. I just wanted to kind of share my heart, and I'm feeling so many things. And one of our wonderful friends, God bless him, Zach, he's working so hard to share this Zoroastrian message of Asha, of the all-good God and being love, peace, joy, and changing the world back to the perfect creator's perfect idea. And he got hit, it sounded pretty hard yesterday on Facebook. I asked everyone to share the message, and someone told him that he's been deceived by Satan. And I started thinking about that. I'm used to that. I've made videos on that before, and it is frustrating. And my friends, it's kind of funny. It's almost worse when it happens to one of my wonderful friends or someone else in the Order of the Magi. It hits me harder because myself, I almost kind of feed on that. I usually, you know me, I get myself worked up, and anyway. But it was a frustrating feeling that I was having. And before I get into that, I want to show you something. As I was going through my books today, I try to keep them organized, in different sections. Stay with me. This is a different message, I know, today, but I know by the end of this, many of you are feeling the way I felt, and I'm going to show you what I did to feel better, because isn't this what this whole life is about? To feel good, to feel God, a perfect creator made a perfect world. Let's learn how to live in it. And as I was going through my bookshelves, I've got, well, now hundreds of books, maybe into the thousands, I'm not sure, but I used to have, thousands and thousands of books everywhere, and I got rid of a lot, gave a lot away, threw a lot away, stored a lot of them, but I still have a huge collection. And I was looking, here's my Zoroastrian book collection. Here's my, oh God, hold on. My books on Islam and Sufism. And then I'm not going to try to pick them all up. I got Hinduism, I've got Egyptian, I got Greek mythology, anything you can imagine. I've got everything down to quantum theory, David Bohm. I've got everything from Jung and Freud. I'm always feeding my mind, learning, wanting more wisdom and knowledge. But one thing I found, we can almost get addicted to that, to just taking in the knowledge, but there comes a point that you have to implement that knowledge. Otherwise, you're just always taking in this knowledge. And the funny thing about our brains is we can add all these new neural pathways, and we can see that our brains can grow, but if you don't use it, it goes away. And so what I've done is I've picked out the best parts of all this different information, and then you put it into a ritual where every day you're doing something, you're thinking on that, you're meditating on that. And my friends, that's where the magic happens. That's where change starts to take place. And yesterday on my Instagram, someone was asking me about magic and miracles. They're ready to do it now, and we all want that, and it's not wrong. If you're watching this, it's fine. I feel the same way. We all do. We want that quick fix. We want it now, and I think of it a lot like we all want to look good. Or I love to be all muscular and ripped and stuff, but you can't just watch one video and all of a sudden you're ripped, right? You have to do that hard grinding work. And my friends, to work in magic and miracles, it costs everything. I'm not even going to try to sugarcoat it. It costs you everything. Is it worth it? My God, it is. To live in Asha, to peace. But my friends, you have to die and let go so much stuff. It's work. Okay, you have to do something. You get the knowledge, you get the wisdom, and then you have to do it. And I would say, how many people have gotten Asha and read it every day and understand it and resonate with it and vibrate it and create it? How many people have the Corda of Vesta? How many people do the meditations that I put out every day? How many people are really doing the steps? And I would say not many, because like I said, we almost get in the habit of just getting information, and with our cell phones especially. Oh my God, I put on YouTube and I just let it play and just getting all that wisdom and knowledge, and it's great, but there comes to that point, like I'm saying, you have to implement it. And getting back to my friend Zach and his story, oh, here it is, the Bible. Okay, so the people that attack us are Christians. This is my grandpa's Bible, and I had a Bible. I've been to Bible college. If those of you who follow me don't know, I was in a Christian cult in Texas. I have a lot of bad memories from that time in my life. I do have some good, this little orange New Testament Bible. Let me see, when it was given to me in 1984 by a friend, and I've read this over and over and over. And my friends, there is magic, and the teachings of Jesus are so beautiful. And one of my wonderful friends, Eric, he just came up for my son's wedding, and oh my God, we had so much fun. Me and this guy, we were friends from high school, 9th grade, and we've just been inseparable ever since. Love him. And we were just talking about this because I gave him the same Bible, and he said that once he got it, he never liked to read back then. You know, we're kids. He couldn't put it down, and there's something so beautiful in this. But people have changed the message, and it changed the meanings. How did they do that? My friends, there's a mass hypnosis going on around the world right now, and that's why someone could tell Zach that he's been deceived by Satan for teaching a God that's all good, that doesn't hate, war, kill, or destroy. Could you imagine someone telling you that a devil has tricked you because your God doesn't hate, war, kill, or destroy? And it's so sad to me. And it got me thinking today. My spiritual practice has gotten very simple. Asha. Every day I'm in Asha, and I find new things in it, and all throughout it, I just write. The whole thing's just written through. There's nowhere else to even put writing in it. I mean, it's just every page, every dream, every vision, every word from God I get, every new thing as I'm reading it every day, and Spirit shows me something new in it. I write it down in there, and my friends, this is the spirituality, the truth that I've gotten from reading all these thousands of books, and I put it into this little book. And I could put it even smaller. I've said this before. I could write a book that just says love on it, and that's what Asha means to me. It's that highest truth. It's God, and God is love. And if we would all just live in that vibration of love, the whole world would be fixed. But the problem is that all the dark system world religions have a book that teaches a God that hates, wars, kills, and destroys. And so then, obviously, if it's okay for your God, it's okay for you. You'll never rise above your highest principle of good. And as today, another part of my spiritual thing, this is more for fun. This, to me, tarot, it's like a psychological tool. It's no different than Carl Jung and his ink blots and his mandalas, and you show pictures and it brings up feelings, and that's what these do. And this is the Gummy Bear Tarot. Sometimes I wonder, why don't people take me serious? Because, Megas, you have the Gummy Bear Tarot, but you know what? It puts a smile on my face. These images make me happy. I mean, the Six of Wands, it's a gummy bear on a horse and riding a parade with a laurel wreath, and he's victorious, and just the Knight of Swords, a gummy bear, riding with his sword. I mean, just they make me happy. And if you know the tarot, the Hanged Man, it's a gummy bear hanging upside down. The Page of Cups, where he's looking into the cup with a fish, and it makes me smile. It makes me feel good. And as we've talked about in Zoroastrianism, good and God are the exact same thing. And so today I pulled the Eight of Pentacles, and it just spoke to me so much. And what it intuitively was telling me is to keep going, keep making these videos, keep putting good out there, because evil doesn't rest. Every day evil and greed and hate and war and killing and murderous ideas and the dark system religions are spreading their ideas. So it's important that those of us that have awakened to the highest truth, Asha, that we keep putting it out there, even though we might not be getting the rewards or accolades or praise that we want. Maybe even people are telling us that we've been deceived by Satan, and not only are they not building us up, but they're crucifying us, aren't they? They don't like it when someone comes up with these higher ideas. Look at Jesus. I mean, there's a great example, teaching the all-loving Father, you know, teaching love your enemy instead of killing them, and they crucify him, and we've seen this all throughout history. And so I want to read to you real quick the message, and my God, this Gummy Bear Tarot, I love it so much. Not only do the images make me happy, but this little white book, it's one of the best ones I've come across. Like we've talked about this before. I don't usually read the little white books because they're shallow. There's not much in them. This one is just packed with wisdom. Listen to what it says here. The Eight of Pentacles. It says, a bear forges coins using hammer and chisel. He nails a lucky star into each and hangs them on the wall of his house. Everyone can see that what this bear has to offer, and how he takes charge of his own fate and happiness. His strengths: joyful, independent, pride, skilled, creative, a good first impression, quick recovery from failure, willingness to admit mistakes. Throw stones in my path and I will build stairs from them. I love that. Just good stuff. And it says the task: in times of crisis, discover your strength for renewal. It's good messages, my friend, and it's simple, and it puts a smile on your face, and it's a good message. And then I think about these people telling us that we're deceived by Satan for looking at those images and reading that right there, my friends. And it makes me think of the stories. I've read this. How many of you have read this from cover to cover? I have, many times, and it's painful. It's not an easy, good read. There's some good stuff in there, but my God, there's some terrible things in there. And this is their good book. And the people saying that we're deceived by Satan, what do with stories like Jephthah? And stay with me for a minute. See, here's the problem I come into. The people that need to hear what I'm about to say, they've already, if they haven't already, right now they're going to shut me off because of fear. They're told you can't hear these other things. Don't look at the tarot. Don't read these other books and religions. The devil's going to get you. The devil's going to deceive you. And my friends, if they could just hear this quick message I'm about to give here, they would wake up. So here I just showed you the tarot cards that everyone is so scared of, especially the Christian folks. Showed you some of the images, read you from the book. There's nothing negative in that. Matter of fact, one of the scariest cards in there that they like to show is the devil card. And what that represents, you'll see there's an image of the devil. Then he has two people on chains, but the chains are loose, and the message is set yourself free from those lower desires, from lust and hate and greed. Break free from the devil, my friends. But they don't teach that. And right here, in their own, what they call the good book, they say this is actually the word of God, that he wrote this book. There's a story of Jephthah, and he told Jehovah that if Jehovah made him victorious in battle, that if he went in and slaughtered the men, the women, and the children, that when he got home, he would sacrifice the first person that came out of his house. He went in, he killed men, women, and children. And apparently, according to this, by the power, because he made a deal with Jehovah, by the power of God. My friends, for you Christians out there, do you believe that God and Jesus are the same thing? Jehovah and Jesus are the same thing? Is that what you were taught? Could you imagine Jesus giving a man the power to go in and run a sword through men, women, and children? What would that look like, to run a sword into a child? It's not like in the movies where you stab them and instantly their eyes close. There's crying, there's suffering, there's gasping for air, there's crying out to their mommy for help. It's a bloody, ugly scene that destroys the souls of men. And my friends, they're saying that's God, the highest principle of good, but they'll give you a reason why they had to do it, my friends. Why would they have to do that? Well, I brought this up to my own mother, and she said it's because those women and children, they were spreading disease because of their sin. Well, and I said, well, what kind of sins? Well, they were having sex in their temples. My friends, I'm not so much for having sex in your temples. I don't think those two things mix myself. But what is worse, having sex in your temples or sacrificing little cute innocent lambs, of teaching an idealism where you can go in and kill men, women, and children, where you, if your children are disobedient, and this is taught in this book right here. If your children are disobedient, you take them to the elders to be stoned. People don't think about what would that look like. Your child's been disobedient, and you take them to the elders and they go, "Mommy, I'm sorry. I'll be good. I won't do it again." And then you watch them hit them with stones while they cry out and they're crawling, trying to get back to you, and they hit them with stones till they die. What would that really look like and sound like and feel like? People don't think of it. Why? Because they've been hypnotized, my friends. From age 0 to 7, you're in a state where everything that is put into you becomes your truth, and you believe everything you were told because that's what your parents were told and your grandparents were told, and the people that wrote history tells you that's what is. And then someone comes along like a Christ or a Buddha and tell you that's not truth, that's not the highest truth, and they always want to kill him and shut him up, my friends. It was Socrates 2,600 years ago. They put him to death because they said that he was polluting the minds of the youth by telling them that their idea of gods that are tricksters and hateful and murderous is bad for society. What did they do? They put him to death, my friends. So don't be surprised when they say you've been deceived by a devil, my friends, because it's all through history. They've been hypnotized, they've been lied to, and they take it as their truth. So what do we do about it? We just keep holding that truth, that light. We keep shining it. And I get so frustrated. My own parents don't believe the way I believe. And for years, I've tried to show my mom this especially, and it makes so much sense. I get so frustrated. Why can't they get it? They must know. When I show them these stories of Jephthah or Moses, we've talked about this when the soldiers, Moses told them to kill the men, women, and children, and the soldiers took mercy on the women and children, said, "We can't, it's wrong," and he made them do it anyway and threatened them if they didn't, and that's their heroes. And so what do? They just make an excuse why God had to do something bad. It's because the end justifies the means, that because something good will come out of it in the end. So then it's okay to kill and to lie and deceive. You see it in the Quran. Kill them where you find them. You can deceive and lie the infidels. It's just, my friends, instinctively we know, but there's a fear in people because it's in the DNA, right? You'll be crucified, you'll be burnt alive, you'll be skinned alive. Even stories in the Bible are put fear in you. Remember the man who took part of the treasure and hid it under his tent, and what happened? They brought him out and they killed his family before him and all of Israel to show them, don't touch the priest, gold and jewels, and then they killed him, right? When that is passed down, you're scared to butt up against the powers that apparently be. But my friends, there's a higher power. There's Ahura Mazda, the all good spirit that's all love, peace, joy, kindness. And the good news, my friends, is you come from that spirit. You're made of that spirit. Inside of you is that divine spark that is that all good spirit. And even though your brain might believe the lies, inside your heart is a mind that knows the highest truth. And as I start to speak these things, doesn't matter what country you're in, this message goes to 150 countries, and it doesn't matter what you call your God. Inside, there's a book written that you know who God is, and He's all good, and He doesn't hate, war, kill, and destroy to get what He wants. He just is what He is. He's all good, and nothing changes His nature. He doesn't have to get angry and violent to bring about what He wants, my friends. That's a thing of fallen man that has received the evil spirit in the mixed monster gods, my friends. And you can still call your God Jehovah and Allah, just like this. I got all these books on the Sufis, but they have an idea of who He is now. Now the spirit behind the name has changed, and that's what we need. We need the spirit behind the name of God to change back to its original identity. All right, my friends, I see my low battery light blinking at me, so I'm just going to call it there. I love you guys so much. Keep spreading this word of Asha. Don't be disheartened. We can do this together. You can change your life, your family, your home. We can change our neighborhoods, and then we can change the world. Keep spreading these messages, and know I love you. We'll see you next time.